step is to identify the problem. Well, no. When you identify the problem, you are defaulting to, you're pointing fingers outward, and you're saying, yeah, someone else is at fault. So the first step in problem solving is simply to admit that a problem exists. The second step in problem solving is to ask, how much of this was caused by me? And I think in a large extent, if you're having challenges with millennials, you will probably have to admit that much of it is caused by you. And here's why. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but there's things that we need to probably do better to create accountability. Let's go to this next step, and I'll explain it in a little bit more detail. Here's probably the most important advice that we can give you. Now again, Ascent Advisor, if you understand what we do, we work with lots of fast-growing companies, and many of our companies are just chock full of millennials. And it's interesting because as we meet with them and we talk to them, we discuss the culture in these fast-growing, hyper-competitive organizations that have hundreds of millennials. And as I ask them what their culture is, almost all of these successful companies say hard work. Hard work is almost always one of the hallmarks of their culture. Now, that kind of flies in the face with the whole idea of millennials don't want to work hard, because we see companies where millennials are working hard all the time. In fact, they're not just putting in the minimum amount of hours, they're putting in tons of hours. But here's why. It's because these companies are really great at measuring results and not activities.